self-sentencing and spurning. For when the ill soul faces him, confession pours out of it till nothing's left to tell, wherein the connoisseur of all transgression assigns it to its proper place in hell. As many grades as he would have it all, so oft he belts him round with his own tail. Before him stands a long continual, each comes in turn to abide the fell Aryan. They speak, they hear, their world down one and all. Ho, thou that comest to the house of pain, cried Minos when he saw me. Thou pliant of his head, power suspended. Think again how thou dost go, in whom is thy reliance, but not deceived by the wide open door. Then said my guide, wherefore this loud defiance? Hinder not thou his fate when we be sure hindrance in vain. Thus it is willed, where will and power are one, enough ask thou no more.
All right, thank you. So we are in question number 21. We haven't read enough to answer it, but we do know that Minos, who was the king of Crete, he is used here, maybe other places, as the judge of the underworld. So all people who are not in the vestibule or not in limbo, they have to pass by Minos, and he determines where they will spend eternity, which level of hell. Yes.
Is he the one who thinks about turn things to gold?
Yes.
I'd forgotten that part, but that's right. Or is that Midas?
That's Midas.
Is that the same person?
Midas, the guy who
Oh,
like
right.
toads, like,
Is that the same person or a different person?
Wait, yeah, minus is
Minus is
my
gold.
card, not your card.
Okay, yeah, Midas. Yeah, all right. But, so, and you know, he tries to stop Dante, and as usual, what is the? There's only one time it doesn't work, but
The power of his voice.
yes, and the word of power, and he basically says God wills it without using God's name. He says, thus it is willed where will and power are one. So in other words, God's the only one in creation. He's not in creation. He's above it, of course. But he's the only one, whatever he wills will be done. So when you pray, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, it will. It actually will, because whatever God wills has to be accomplished. Yes.
So for 24, when it says who is in the second circle of hell, would those people, like those who are incontinent, or are you looking for specific names?
Well, specific incontinence, we have to turn the page to see who that is. So let's turn the page, and Celeste is going to read. So we can answer that question. It's at the top of the page. Look at the very top. It's the lustful. So this is a particular kind of incontinence. And so she will read that for us.
Now the sounds of grief begin to fill my ear. I'm come where cries of anguish smite my shrinking sense and lamentation shrill. A place made dumb of every glimmer of light, which billows like a tempestuous ocean brilling, and the batter of a two-way winds buffet and fight. The blast of hell that never rests from whirling carries the spirits along the sweep of its swath, and vexes them, forever beating and hurling. When they are borne to the rim of the ruinous path, with cry and wail and shriek they are caught by the gust, railing and cursing the power of the Lord's wrath. Into this torment carnal sinners are thrust. So I was told, the sinners who make their reason bond thrall under the yoke of their lust. Like as the starlings wheel in the wintry season, in wide and clustering flocks wind-borne, even so they go. The souls who did this treason, hither and thither, and up and down, outworn, hopeless of any rest. Rest, did I say? Of the least finishing of their pangs forlorn. And as the cranes go chanting their harsh lay, across the sky in long procession thrilling, so I beheld some shadows borne my way, driven on the blast and uttering wail and wailing. Wherefore I said, O Master, art thou able to name these spirits thrashed by the black winds flailing? Among this band, said he, whose name and fable thou seekest to know, the first who yonder flies was empress of many tongues, mistress of Babel. She was so broken to lascivious vice, she licensed lust by law, in hopes to cover her scandal of unnumbered harlotries. This was Semiramis, 'tis written of her, that she was wife to Minos and Eris too, who reigned in the land of Soldan, now rules over.
Okay, let's pause, and I'm gonna show you another place in the book that you can go as you look through here. At the very back is a glossary of all the names in the book. So if you'll turn to, I think it's page 340, I'm trying to find her name, see if her name is on here. What is her name? S-E-M. So it's 339, Samarius. Look on page 339. So this is a name just in passing. It devotes 3 little tercets in the whole book. 339, it says, Samarius, wife and successor of Ninus, renowned for her beauty and bravery. 339, Samarius, and to have built Babylon in Asia, said to have built Babylon in Asia with its famous hanging gardens and the great tomb of Ninus in Nineveh. The many mythical elements of her story and legends told of her lasciviousness and sexual immorality suggest she may have originally been a Syrian goddess of love. So even the smallest reference to a character, if you want to know more about that person, there's a good chance that name is in the back of the book. Now, at the back of every canto, she mentions people, like on page 101, turn there. I don't see Samarius' name. I see Minos' name, I see the lustful and the black wind and so forth. So there are a couple of places to look for these names. All right, so who are, in answering question 21, who are in the second circle? The lustful. How are they being punished? I get this one confused, as you might, with the vestibule. I even said so at the beginning. Vestibule, they're running in circles, just on their own accord, running because they're being stung. Here, they're being blown as a wind blows them. So they're being blown about, and somebody said, that sounds like fun.
No, it's not.
They're not having fun. For eternity being blown around, that's the idea.
Do they ever go in a different direction, or is it
I think it's in the same direction. So why is this an appropriate punishment for their sin? Remember, I told you the best part about Dante for me is the way sins are portrayed. We get to see what sin is a little better. So what is it about the lustful and the wind that makes sense?
Well, you can't see anything that the will must open. You're in a constant state of like, I'm borderless, there's nothing.
Yeah, but the lust that they committed on earth, why is that appropriately punished by?
They have no control.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah, it's the kind of thing like all incontinence, you have no control. And I think particularly with sexual sins, it sort of carries you away. You know, you just kind of are carried away by it. You lack the control or the strength to say no. So the way hell works in Dante, you enjoy doing that on earth, see what it feels like in hell. So the sin actually is the punishment. Some aspect of the sin becomes a punishment, and it's really true. It's a good way to look at it. Sin, some sin anyway, is pleasurable for a moment, but then it turns on us because it's a lie. How could it? How could it be true if it's forbidden, whatever it is, by God? It feels, this is right because it feels good or it seems good, but then it turns bad. But even before it's committed, how could it be good if God doesn't permit it? All right. So now we do something we haven't really done yet. We're going to see people. We did that in Limbo. We saw some names, Aristotle, Plato, Horace, but we're going to see now some other names, but then we're going to actually talk, or Dante's actually going to talk to somebody, and you're going to read for us. Top of page 99, Dante recognizes people, famous people, some fictitious, some real, and then he actually has a conversation.
Lo, she that slew herself for her love, untrue to Psycheus' ashes, lo, tossed on the blast, voluptuous Cleopatra whom love slew. Look on Helen, for whose sake ruled past long evil years. See great Achilles yonder, who wared with love, and that war was his last. See Paris, Tristram, see and many, oh wonder, many, 1,000 more, he showed by name and pointing hand, whose life love rent asunder. And when I had heard my doctor tell the fame of all those knights and ladies of long ago, I was pierced through with pity, and my head swam. Poet, said I, fain would I speak those two that seem to ride as light as any foam, and hand in hand on the dark wind drifting go. And he replied, wait till they near Rome, and thou shalt see, summon them to thy side by the power of love that leads them, and they will come.
All right, why don't we pause there, because now he will speak to them. And so for the rest of the canto, pretty much, he has a conversation with one of the people that are being punished, and that's, her name's Francesca, and she talks about her and her, I guess, lover, Paolo. Paolo. All right, we'll see you Friday. Tomorrow Friday? No, it can't be.